everybody out here. It is a blustery day out here, y'all. Blustery day, but we are out here still getting it in on the road with the NX500. This thing weighs 432 pounds roughly. So not too heavy. We're able to throw this thing around. As we talked about before, this is your entry-level adventure bike from Honda. So before we get into what makes this bike really special, I want to talk about a little bit of where this bike came from. So back in 2013, Honda introduced the CB500X. It was a crossover adventure bike built on that legendary Honda 500cc parallel twin platform. So over the years, Honda listened to its riders and its community and kept improving that bike. So in 2016, they added a larger fuel tank, an adjustable windscreen, and LED headlights. The first thing that strikes me about this bike is just the styling and design of this bike. Now, Honda said that with this new bike came a new philosophy of kind of your daily crossover. So what that means is this bike not only looks equally at home on the street, feels at home on the windy roads, a highway, or on gravel trails. Starting out up front here, Honda totally redesigned its new headlight for a wider beam, for a wider field of vision, and Honda also paired it with a new brake light. So that was the perfect name for this bike because it captures the bike dual nature. And so of course, with this new name came a more aggressive design, and of course you always got those premium upgrades. It is a blustery day out here, probably roughly about 40 some odd degrees, low 40s, but we are out here. As you can see, we have de-icing trails that are on the road. It is supposed to snow later on today. So I'm out here getting a quick little ride in before everything just turns from sugar to shit. So we have the NX500, which is 471 cc's of adventure bike awesomeness, 6-speed transmission. And it is very windy out today. However, this thing just cuts through the wind like butter. Very impressed. The windshield does an extremely good job blocking the wind from your body. But this bike is designed to do everything well. Whether you're on a highway, whether you're on the twisties, long country roads, this thing is just able to handle a little bit of everything. And for anybody who is looking to get an adventure bike, this is probably going to be one of your best bets. This bike is able to go through these long country roads like it is nothing. You have those Showa 41mm inverted forks. This bike sits up extremely high. That's a characteristic of adventure bikes. So looking over traffic, no issues, no problems. And it's not even a big con, but one of the big things that I've noticed that I don't care for with this bike is the kickstand. Now I'll show you what I mean when I get ready to dismount this bike. Well, you probably already saw it when I was attempting to stop, but I'll show you anyway. But there is that riding peg for your left foot. It is almost directly above where the little piece that comes out to lower the kickstand. And so I am always getting that jacked up. I've had a bike that sat somewhat upright like this one does, and I've never had an issue like I do with this one. Then in 2019, they bumped up the front wheels to 19 inches, the rear 17, and they did this for better clearance and performance. But here's where it gets really interesting. In 2024, Honda did something a little crazy. They didn't just update the bike, they renamed it. So that NX designation that this bike has stands for new crossover. So it also harks back to the 1980s with the NX650 Dominator. So with this new name and new identity, also came along an aggressive redesign, premium technology, and some very significant upgrades. So let's go ahead and check this bike out. So you also have this full color 5-inch TFT screen that was brought over from the XL750 Transalp. You have this button, which I thought something was broken off here, but you have this. It looks a little strange. Like I said, it looks like something is broken off, but you can actually see the little arrows that's there. And so this is going to end up changing the menu settings. As you can see, you have all those different menu settings there. You can change your shift point. You can go down to the display, change the brightness, background, go down another notch. You got your date, time, language. Of course, here you got your hazard lights. You got your ignition kill switch. You have your starter switch here. You got your front brake master cylinder. Over here on the left, standard stuff. You have, of course, your horn, which is pretty loud. You got your left and right turn signal. This right here is your traction control. As you can see, you can turn off the traction right there, or you can turn it off. And of course, you have your high and low beam. And if you want to keep it on high beam, you can. If not, turn it off. Then of course, as you always know, you got your clutch over here, and then you have your brake right here. You do have your rear passenger grab handles. You got decals on here, NX500. Let me turn this off real quick. All right, you got your riding pegs here. You got your rear brake cylinder. And then you have these nice looking fairings that of course draws air in, makes it a little bit more aerodynamic. Got your radiator. Of course, you got your oil filter there. Underneath, you have your drain cock for your oil to drain. So here is where all the magic happens. This is a 471cc liquid cooled parallel twin engine, and this produces around 47 horsepower at 8,600 RPM and roughly around 32 pound-feet of torque. Now, I know that's not massive numbers on paper, but this bike really does really well between that 3,000 and 7,000 RPMs. And I think that is right where you are at most of the time with this bike, especially rolling on the road. And at 80 miles per hour, this thing just feels right at home. Now, you're not about to beat any type of leader bike or anything like that, but that's not what this bike is designed to do. It is designed to do everything well. This is also a 6-speed transmission. Now, it does not have a quick shifter on there. I absolutely love quick shifters, but this does not have it. Now, this particular model, I believe versions that are a higher trim level than this does have that option. So an area where this bike really shines is in the braking. So you do have these dual brake rotors, 296 millimeters. You also have 4-piston brakes, which is always nice. And you of course have ABS. So this is a 240 millimeter disc brake. It does have ABS. You can kind of see this ABS ring right here. If you look on motorcycles and you actually see this right here in the rear, that is for your ABS. Ask me how I know, because I forgot to put mine back on when I put the tire together or put the wheel together, but that's neither here or there. Now, the thing about these brakes, when you slam them on, they modulate perfectly. Like, you don't even feel, like, if you remember older ABS brake systems, you used to be able to feel it pulsing. This, you feel none of that. It just quickly brings you to a stop. So the tires on here, you have 110/80 19s up front. You have 160/60 17s here in the rear. And these tires are more adventure oriented with decent tread for like that mixed terrain. Now, a lot of people may end up upgrading the tires, and it's understandable. You may want something a little bit more knobby so that you can kind of traverse all types of terrain, especially gravel. Now, who is this bike made for? This bike is, so it's going to be ideal for your entry-level adventure rider wanting a capable and affordable platform. It's also perfect for a commuter wanting to explore beyond the pavement on the weekends. It's also excellent if you're a seasoned rider wanting a second bike that's fun, easy to maintain, and won't break the bank, as this bike is $7,300 as a starting price. So really good there. It's less suitable if you need a pure highway cruiser. You might want to get something a bit more powerful, as a 500cc bike isn't going to give you that get up and go that you may crave. It's also not your pick if hardcore desert racing or things like that, that's hardcore off-roading, is your game. Probably won't want this bike. And also, it won't satisfy riders craving massive power and presence. Once again, I want to thank my man Rob from Honda for allowing me to do a review on this bike, and thank all of you for coming back to the channel, and check out some of these other videos that I have. And remember, everyone deploy, and I am out.